Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so now here we have the text, and I'll show you how you're going to select the ideas. Keep this thing in your mind that you have to select the relevant ideas only. The key is relevance. If you select the relevant ideas and you select the wide range of ideas, you get your 10 marks for reading. Then after that, the task is that how you organize that and how you are going to rework that. So here is the text, and you have done this in your send-ups. Local residents against plans for the city zoo. So basically the question is that we have to summarize the arguments that citizens are presenting against the plans for the city zoo. The city zoo is being shifted to another place, but the local residents, citizens, they are against this. They don't want this zoo to be shifted. So what are the arguments that they are presenting? What are the arguments that they are giving that this zoo should not be transferred or should not be? First thing is that you need to understand the question, understand it well. You should be very clear about it, that whether you have been asked about the arguments against or arguments in favor. You have to write about the advantages of something, or you have to write about the disadvantages of something. Be clear about it. Now here we are clear that we are going to write arguments against something, against this transfer. So once when we start reading, we find it that local residents fighting to stop the closure of a city center zoo say they are still confident that they can force bosses at the famous tourist attraction. So this can be our one point. We can use it that because that is a famous tourist attraction, that's why it should not be moved. This is our first point. Then the residents are challenging plans to close the existing zoo established over. So there's another thing, that a very valid point, that this zoo is here for last 130 years. Second point, and move it to a new rural location over 40 kilometers and 2 buses rides away. So that means the place that where they are sending it is too far away. Third point, then the historic zoo. I am underlining each and every point. Okay, so after that, while writing, we will see that which are the points that are being repeated. Historic zoo, that is my fourth point. Then imagine the disruption of all that construction work. So once it is going to be moved, it is going to create a kind of a disruption. This is fifth point. Then there are plans to build 220 apartments and offices. Who even needs those? So this is my sixth point. Apartments and offices, all that construction work, they are in one way related to each other. The first one, the construction work, but these apartments and these offices, we can mention them here. While writing, we will make them one point. Then a child and parents taking my own children. Okay, I remember visiting that zoo. So basically it is a kind of family entertainment, and children can create childhood memories if that zoo is there. So that is my seventh point. Fears that new generations of city youngsters would miss out. This is related to that number 7. Would miss out on this, on seeing rare and this one is different. Rare and endangered wild animals up close. This is my 8th point. Now I have to move forward because I'll have to remove this. Then there's nothing in after this, after these 8 points. I don't have anything in paragraph number 3, and I do not have anything in paragraph number 4. There's nothing here, so I didn't take out anything. Now look at the next one, paragraph number 6. I was thinking about paragraph number 5. First I thought that this makes a point. Okay, so that's why I just highlighted this to make a point. Now let's read it. Of course, opinions on zoos are often divided and controversial. Some say that zoos do important research, playing a part in raising awareness to protect at risk species and habitats. Now, first I highlighted this, but then I changed my mind. I thought while I read this again, like, of course, opinions on zoos. So, this point, this opinions on zoos tell me that basically this point is regarding the whole, the all the zoos, whether this zoo is there at that place or when it is shifted and it is on another place, still it will do the same task. So this point is not relevant in that manner that any zoo can carry out that research, whether it is this zoo, this historic one, or the new one when it is in that rural location. So it will do the same job. So this point is not the relevant for one for me, because this is the not the kind of a research that only this zoo is carrying out. This is a research that any zoo can carry out. So I cross this point. I'm not going to use this. But after that we will see the mark scheme. Let's see if they have this point or not. So you have to just select the ideas in this way. You have to make sure that you are choosing the relevant ideas. Okay, then transporting them over long distances. Again, the long distance to other zoos is a concern, like the all the animals that are being taken to the other side of the city. That is also a concern, that how they are going to be treated or how they will be moved. So this is my point number 9. Then next is growing anxiety and even anger. So that is a kind of a stress that why this stress? Because the potential loss of jobs, this anger, anxiety due to loss of jobs, this is point number 10 for me. Then it is unthinkable that this beautiful iconic place loved by generations, again another point number 11, iconic place, then abandoned with no public consultation. This is point number 12, that public or residents of this area, they have not been consulted, they have not been asked for their opinion, and everything has been done in a hurry. A tiny percentage of the animals will be able to move to the new site. That means only a few animals would be able to would be moved to that new zoo. So that is point number 13 for me. Yes, that's it. These are 13 points that I have taken out and I have crossed on this. Now let's have a look at the mark scheme, so that we have the idea actually what are those points that we have to use in our summary writing task.